money orders, cashier's checks. I handle money.
Yeah, we've all pretty much dealt with that. So that's what you do on a day in, day out basis, right? In that experience, have you dealt much with saving bonds?
That was my second time dealing with savings.
So kind of out of the ordinary, right?
Yes, sir.
So before I called you about coming to testify, did you individually remember this particular day?
Yes, sir.
Kind of stood out from your out of the ordinary,
yes,
your day-to-day experiences, I would guess.
Yes,
all right. Did you on that occasion deal with a customer by the name of Chadston Bridson?
Yes, sir.
Do you see him here in the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
Can you point to him and identify something that he's wearing?
He's over there wearing orange.
And the record reflects she's identified the only individual in the courtroom wearing orange, which is Chadston Bridson.
The defendant in this case?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it will show.
May I approach witness?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to paperclip this item after I show it to you, ma'am. I'm going to show you a 2-page document that I've entitled State's Exhibit 2. Have you seen this document before?
Yes, sir.
What does it appear to be before we get into its actual writing?
It appeared to be a savings bond.
Is that the item to your memory that we are talking about from January 13th of 2026?
Yes, sir.
Does it, and he presented that item to you that day?
Yes, sir.
And this is the item that you dealt with?
Yes, sir.
Did you ultimately fund, for lack of a better term, provide him some money for this?
Yes, sir.
And we'll get into the details here in a moment. Ma'am, I'm going to tender State's Exhibit 2 to the defense counsel.
No objection, Mr. Negro.
It is admitted.
So the judge can see it and you at the same time. I'll put it up here. Tell me what's this first part here on State's Exhibit 2. Sorry. What is this?
That's a savings bond.
So I know it's kind of obvious because most of us have seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the document that, or the item that was presented to you in order to get reimbursed?
Yes, sir.
So how does that work? If I come in and I bring you a savings bond, what takes place?
So when you come in and bring a savings bond, we look at the face. And then also we have a link in our procedures that we just have to verify it. But that day the link wasn't working. But the savings bonds look like the other savings bond. You really couldn't tell if you compared it next to the other savings bonds. You could see like the blurry print of it. It has some inconsistencies with it as well.
So this particular savings bond that was presented on January 13th, was it an actual Series EE savings bond?
No, sir. It was actually fraudulent. But it looked similar to a real savings bond.
Did he fool you whenever he presented it to you?
Yes, sir. He told me that he had got it from his grandfather. And
is that who he claimed was Charlie Garrison?
yes, sir.
And did you fund him money that day?
Yes, sir.
And was it more than the $5,000 presented on this document?
I believe it was 6,000 and around 6,000.
Judge loves exacts, and so do I.
I'm sorry.
Was it $6,064?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That would have been the proper amount.
And by the probable cause affidavit says $6,046.
Do you know which one it was?
You said $6,064. I mean, it's $18 difference, but it's still a difference.
Okay, so let's address that. On this document, it notes not only in your report, ma'am, but on State's Exhibit that you paid $664.
Yes, sir.
Is that the amount that you paid?
Yes, sir.
So it might be different from the probable cause, but that's the amount that you paid on that day. Is that correct? And you actually wrote out something that indicated that amount as well, correct? All right. So you told us, well, let's identify the second half of this. No? I want to finish with this. How did y'all determine that this was fraudulent?
We had to call another branch and they actually was able to pull up the site and they verified that it was fraudulent.
Normally, would you have done that before funding money?
Yes, sir.
And this time it didn't happen because why?
The website was actually down at the time I was trying to verify.
So was Mr. Brightston a regular member of this branch that you worked at?
No, sir, I hadn't seen him before. That was my first time.
Did he present it on someone who is a regular member of that branch?
No, sir.
Okay. First time to see him, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's talk about the second half of this exhibit. On the back, in fact, is this the back of that savings bond?
Yes.
Who filled out this information?
Mr. Preston filled it.
So that's not your handwriting.
No, sir.
Did he present a driver's license to verify the address?
Yes, sir.
Did he present a social security number to verify that information?
I didn't need the social security number, so I didn't verify it.
All right, he just did that on his own.
Yes, sir.
Did I ask you to watch a video this morning of the transaction?
Yes.
That's what's represented in the State's Exhibit 1, what you watched. What is,
That's a video of Mr. Preston coming in and giving me the savings bond. And then you can see me going and asking another coworker for help because I really didn't know how to handle a savings bond, but she was helping me and I gave her my CD, pulling out the cash and the black and walking the church.
so it looks like there's potentially 4 teller stations.
There is,
where this guy's from or who he is or anything of that nature. I was
And raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statements you make during this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Lower your hand. Go ahead.
Hey, Jackson, you've heard the testimony. You are accused of forging or passing a forged U.S. bond, correct? Okay. Let's just, the stuff that we know and can all agree. That was you on the video that cashed the bond, correct? Okay, you can talk up loud so we can all hear you, okay? So you took the bond into Do Good. Were you a member of Do Good?
yes,
Okay, so that was your bank, correct? All right. Or the banking chain. I don't know if it was your actual local one, but you're part of Do Good, right?
yes.
Okay. So you got a savings bond in. Where'd you get a savings bond from?
I had got it, honestly, I had got it from somebody. I don't even know where this guy's from or who he is or anything of that nature. I was scrolling on social media and I had seen a link, not a link, but it was like a sort of like an ad or anything like that. So like you can put $200 down, send them like $200 as a down payment, and they invest in the money for me. So I'm thinking that it's legit, anything like that. So I reached out to the person. I didn't even know it was a person at first. It said at the bottom, it said send a message. So I sent the message.
So you thought it was a company?
So I thought it was a company.
Okay.
So at the bottom it said send a message. So when I sent the message, a person, Sergio, somebody, I don't know his last name, but I remember the guy's name was Sergio. When he sent me a message, he told me to take his number. So when I took his number, we exchanged the numbers and everything like that. Do things around the house, help out. So it was more, I was thinking that it as a more like benefit me in that type of way. So I went ahead with it. So I thought it was legit.
All right. Now let's go ahead and address the other things too, because it's not just that you're here for. You're also here for not doing your moral recognition therapy. the MRT, one of the classes you're supposed to do, and you pled true to it earlier. Did you not do that yet, or what?
Okay, I was in MRT. I made sure every time that I had class, I made sure I was there on time. Or if I couldn't make it.
Now, sir, I've got documents in front of me where you were working with another individual by Micah Hanna. Who is that?
No, I don't know.
You don't know who that is? Never seen that person before a day in your life? So if we have video footage of you and that individual approaching this bank, same place, on January 5th, present a similar type of fraudulent bond, you don't know nothing about that, do you?
So you're saying that a guy named Micah Hanna was with me on that day presenting the same type of document?
Same or similar, same fraud, sir. I'm giving you a chance to either answer honestly or I will prove it. January 5th, 2026, Do Good Federal Credit Union at 3:34. You're seen on video with this individual by the name of Micah Hanna presenting this same type of bond. Sometimes people don't like to admit things until they actually see it. You remember that? Yes or no, sir?
No, I don't remember.
No. I have a still photograph of you in your car outside of that. Do you want to see that to refresh your memory? Again, it's a part of your discovery. Your lawyers had it. January 13th, and as well as the still photograph right next to it.
Where's the guy?
I don't have the video. I'm showing you the still photograph. This is what I'm showing you right now. Do you remember, or are you going to admit or deny that?
I remember that on that photo. Where's the can you present me Micah Hanna?
Let me tell you something, sir. I'll ask the questions you do not.
I remember that. One of the video you just showed me. I remember all of that.
On the same question, didn't you go to another branch of DuPont?
Because I was already going that way towards Nederland.
So you know where I'm going.
Yes, I do know where you're going.
You went to Port Neches after you got this money on the event that we've been talking about to that branch, and you attempted to do the same thing again, did you not?
Yes, I did, because I thought it was legit. Since I got the money already, I thought it was legit.
You know what that sign means? Time out.
Okay.
If you think it's legitimate, sir, why didn't you present this both bonds in the same time with the same teller?
I understand what you're saying on that note.
Good, then answer my question. Why did you not?
Because I was already. I'm trying to answer you, but I'm gonna let you talk.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to let you talk
Go ahead.
because I was already going towards the other way, and Mariah didn't want to turn around. So
Who was giving you a ride?
Sergio, the guy that I stated earlier. And after all this happened, I reached out to him. Number blocked, everything blocked. I couldn't even reach out to him anymore.
All right, so let's go back to that. You admit that all that was just fishy. Those were your words, not mine.
I admit that what?
Your statement on direct was that all this was fishy.
Not at the end, after I realized what happened, now it looks like I'm the fool. I'm the fool because I went for that.
And you admit that you lied to the teller and that you got the money on a forged document.
I admit that. Say it again.
You admit that you lied to that lady on January 13th, 2026, so that you could get paid for a savings bond that turns out to be fraudulent.
The name on there, I don't know what it is though.
You knew from the very beginning when you presented that document that that name did not exist. Yes?
I didn't pay attention to that name.
Do you admit or deny that that name did not exist?
Well, is it? I don't know what it is.
No further
I didn't-
questions?
I don't know what it is, but when I presented it,
The just argument is some kind of deliberate ignorance. The best evidence comes out of his mouth, the lie he told and the admission that that's what took place. He received the money 6 months after we placed him on probation. He's out there breaking the law again. I'm asking that you find it true on all those, and let's see if that's what the right punishment should be.
Anything else from the parties? Okay.
Your Honor, my client just asked if he wanted to address the court directly. I don't know, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to, did I stand up or see? I said, see
Stand up, just, nice.
Yeah, I know I shouldn't be standing here in your court, again. But last time I was here, when I had got on probation, my intent for when I was released last time was to change my whole life, my routine, my everything. I'm sincere about the life I want to live now, which is not a life of illegal activity, criminal activity, or anything of such nature. I turned myself in because of how much I want to change my life. I turned myself in on this case. I don't want to keep living like this. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of myself. I'm sick and tired of y'all having to see me like this. My family having to know that I'm in here away from them. The family that I created, my kids. I mean a lot to them. I have support out there. I do. I mean a lot to them, and they mean a lot to me too. And I stood on business when I said to myself, and when I prayed to the Lord and told him, and I'm done. I just asked, I don't know how this may come out, but I know I don't have a choice. But all I ask for is a little mercy on whatever. It don't matter if it's a reinstatement. It don't matter if it's a time cut, a lower sentence, or anything. I don't care what it is. I just beg for mercy because I know God knows my heart, and I know my heart, and I know my true intentions. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, anything else from anyone? Okay, the court is going to make the following findings in this motion to revoke probation, that in allegations 2, 3, and 4 of the motion to revoke probation here in 24 CR 857, and this was a motion filed March 24, 2026. The defendant has pleaded true to allegations 2, 3, and 4, that is, failing to work faithfully at suitable employment and provide verification of such in violation of condition 6 of his probation order. Allegation 3, failing to provide verification of performing community service hours as required and as directed by the court in violation of condition 18 of his probation order. And allegation 4, failing to provide verification of entering and successfully completing the moral reclamation therapy program as directed by the probation office in violation of condition 31 of defendant's community supervision order. The court finds in 2, 3, and 4 that the defendant has admitted that he violated those conditions as alleged voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, and he understands and appreciates that the consequences of such is that the court, that is enough to grant the motion to revoke probation, and his probation can be revoked, and he can be sentenced to no less than 2 nor more than 8 years confined in prison. And understanding that, he insisted on pleading true to these violations today. And again, I find the court, in the court's record, that the defendant has pleaded true voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, and because those allegations are true. If that were all there was, we could end and move forward, but the court has heard this evidence and finds that the defendant did commit the offense of forgery on about January 13th, 2026 in Jefferson County, Texas, in violation of Condition 1, based upon the circumstances and the evidence presented in this hearing. The elements of forgery under Section 32.21 of the Texas Penal Code. The elements of forgery that must be proven by the state are that one, that the defendant, with intent to defraud or harm another, passed a writing that purported to be the act of another, and that the other person did not authorize the act. Intent to defraud or harm may be established by circumstantial evidence, according to the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals. And it is clear that in this case, that that is what happened. This couldn't have been accomplished without a mistake being made by the bank officials, and they admit that the watermark that is on a savings bond is not dissimilar to the watermarks that are in all current U.S. currency, dollars, $5, money, paper money. And it's there to help ensure that there is no forgery made. But I'm not blaming the clerk. In this case, she seems to be a fine person. And it's the defendant who brought in a forged document and passed it, and all the circumstances surrounding it. Anybody would know, would question the legitimacy of his explanation, is that it doesn't make sense. He's coming in and thinking he's going to be able to get $6,000+ and has no real explanation of where the source of this came from. But this court finds that the elements of the offense of forgery have been proven, and allegation 1 is proven true by a preponderance of the evidence or greater and beyond a reasonable doubt in this court's determination. Thus, the court will note that allegations 1, 2, 3, and 4 have been proven true in this motion to revoke probation. Also, one thing that the court needs to also point out is that the defendant, in his attempts to claim he is not guilty and that he is honest about his statements, unfortunately, the law provides methods of proving otherwise. How many felony convictions do you have, sir? Let's see, we've got a misdemeanor conviction of assault on a family member. That was revoked. But in felonies, let's see, we've got 2 burglaries of habitations. You were placed on probation for 2 serious offenses in 2016, and then those later were revoked. And you were I don't know if he was on probation. It was a conviction in 2016. He was convicted and sentenced to 5 years confinement in each case, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, you got 2 charges of murder by habitation. I have the pen packets, but I think, is Your Honor asking if
You know how it got by? The way the defendant can try to sell ice to an Eskimo. What we used to hear. If you can sell ice to an Eskimo, you've got it. And that's what the defendant does. He's great at tall stories. Man, his explanations are nonsensical. They don't make sense. But that doesn't stop him from trying to sell the product. He sells his product, which is a dishonest product, in numerous different ways here.
Your Honor, we'd be asking for something lower than the 8 years based on the fact that I don't believe he understood that he was committing the crime. I don't know if he.
The court's found otherwise.
I know, but I'm saying that's my belief. It's not really the one that matters. It's yours, but that's my belief. That's my argument.
Disregard for the law.
I understand all that, Your Honor. But back then, I was lost, man. I was lost, Your Honor. I was lost. I'm getting older. I was young back then, man.
I'm sorry, you were, hold on, you were an adult each of these
I
occasions.
was young. I'm saying, like,
I'm sorry, sir. Once you're an adult, you're held responsible under the
I
law.
was grown in age, but I was young-minded. I was still a kid, Your Honor, in my head.
You were an adult.
When I, in my mind, mentally, I'm gonna say that, not physically, mentally, I was a kid, Your Honor.
So you want to be treated differently than other people your age. You are not as responsible as others who turned 18.
Because I went to prison so early, Your Honor. I didn't get to live.
Somebody else's fault.
No, it was my fault, Your Honor. It was my fault.
Well, then you're held responsible.
You're right. But the mistakes I made,
Should have stopped making mistakes.
I should have stopped making mistakes, but then again, my mistakes helped me find myself, which I finally found myself. I was lost, young. Like I just stated again, I was lost.
Your actions must speak louder than your words, sir. You don't have credibility because of your actions in the past, but it's your actions what actions you make. That's the test. And your actions are not lawful.
When I was released, Your Honor, I was really, honestly, being a trying man. I was trying to walk the right line, the line of the law, and everything. I was trying, and I was doing. I was not only I was trying, I was doing it. This is one of the longest times I've been released. I've been out in society because I really was trying. Young.
But you just got caught committing a crime.
I understand.
Not only in state, it's a federal crime to do what you did. It's a federal crime. You've committed crimes in 2 jurisdictions, which they can prosecute, by the way, and hold you accountable for that.
I understand that.
I don't know if you do or not.
I honestly do, man. I'm well aware. But I don't know how to keep. I don't want to sound like a broken record. But man,
You were an habitual felon. You're an habitual felon when you were placed on probation back on January 13th. I'm sorry, when you were placed on probation back on March 31st of 25. And I think that's when you pleaded guilty to unlawful possession of the firearm after your two burglaries of habitations. And then you were sentenced in May of 25. You were on thin ice after that. Any felony, any violation, another felony places you at a minimum 25 years, which is the state jail felony. It's now, I think they can even make this state jail felony into a second degree felony because of it was sequential. But There are too many felony offenses here,
I understand.
and you're not very old. You're not making wise choices.
I know, young. I know my record is long. And
And you're held accountable, just like all of us in this room.
I am, yes, sir, as
All
an
right.
adult.
This court will hold you accountable, just like the law says it should.
You know, I know, young, I know that I can. I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to me when I say this. I know that I can, even though I'm here today and it seems like I'm proving y'all wrong that I can't be in society. I know that I can, and I can be in society.
That's not the test. The test is to actually conduct yourself within the law, not to believe you can do it, but you have to apply it into practice and application and your actions. That's what dictates what goes on in this room.
Right, yeah. You're right, young.
All right.
I know your decisions. I know at the end of the day, you got the last say, so this.
Look, we have a 93% success rate on probation in this court. You think I'm happy to revoke probation? I want success. We're proud of this. The national average is 75. Probation office has one of the greatest records in the country. So I hate to see a failure
I know
because we're proud of it.
I know I can finish this, Judge Stevens. I can finish this.
Your conduct speaks differently. And in this case, your conduct speaks differently. Anything else? All right. Your probation is hereby revoked. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 8 years. You will be given credit for all time you have served in accordance with this. Fortunately, it's not an aggravated crime.